Monday instead of throughout the weekend, because then you're a lot less stressed out and you're not at a need for recruiting focus on PEI, focus on other areas of the business that just take some extra time.
Good. And Amanda, can you speak to how much profit gets eaten up by eating out? You were pretty good. I don't know if you're always good, but you're pretty good at grocery shopping versus eating out, right?
Yeah, for sure. In the beginning of my branch, I was eating out more so, but after I realized how much I was losing money doing that, then I started grocery shopping, and that day was so nice to.
Oh yeah, you wait for Dad to come visit you and buy groceries. Like I went up and bought him groceries. That's cool. I felt like Dad.
Yeah, then I started meal prepping stuff, and it's taking a while.
Good stuff. Okay. Anywhere over here? A couple more light bulbs before we roll. Idaho.
There's just so many ways to hit your fire numbers. Like you don't really have an excuse not to. Like you have the kids on your team give you numbers. If you don't have kids on your team, you can go to the mall, you can go to a park, you can go to a populated restaurant, go to a movie theater. Like there's so many different places you can go to get PRs. You just got to be creative. There's so many different ways to get them. There's no excuse for you not to hit your fire number on a weekly basis.
Yep, I agree. I agree. Eddie.
Yeah, and like with PRs, it kind of works like on a weird. It works on like a 2-week thing because like if you crush it 1 week and then like you kind of pull back the second week, then you destroyed all the momentum you created from the first week. So the second week, then coming out to the third week, you're trying to crush it again, but you're losing everything from what you didn't do the week before. So you want to hit it on like a 2 to 3 week cycle. At first, it's a pain in the butt and it's actually hard, but then after the first like 2 to 3 weeks of like being really aggressive, it gets even easier to hit the PR number every week because then suddenly like they just come out of nowhere. And then you get hit up, and then it's just like, oh, yeah, more PRs.
Yeah, I'm just telling you, April is the head start, but May is where you dictate, you know. You get May going on, then June's the biggest recruiting month. If you get June going, then July's the biggest sales month. So, okay. Everyone can turn to the handouts, please, and I'll put some on the television as well. We'll go to the next section on mastering the training seminar. Now, here's what I want you to know. We're going to put together a syllabus, and it's going to look something like this, so you guys have an idea. It's not. There's no folder, nothing in the folder on purpose. So if you look on the screen, see it says training seminar checklist, and it's going to look like this. It's going to have like a list of all the talks in training, okay? And if you've gotten a chance to observe it and run it, pretty straightforward. There will be a syllabus, and the reason we haven't had a syllabus is because we don't unleash it until after the push. Does that make sense? So here's what's going to happen. Now that you're A squad, we still have the Wednesday teaching events, like where I chime in at 4 o'clock, and we're going to be teaching things that relate to PPR now, like how to set or recruiting, how to second person interview better, how to run a PSP Sunday meeting, how to drive and set up a phone jam. Like these are things that apply to anyone that's either running an office or an assistant. Okay, but when we finish up like my section or teaching, there's that. So it's about 45 minutes of me. There's still another 45 minutes from like 4:45 to 5:30. Your job is to be practicing and role playing the training seminar, and then also in your own time. So maybe food for thought if you want to write this in your notes before you get this. You want to probably a lot. And Luke, just if we were conservative, how many hours per week if you spread it out and you're not rushing it, starting in January, to really get to this training seminar? I say 2-3, but 1-2
hours a week for
scripting / observation. I know you could squeeze it in a shorter period of time, but if you're taking your time, is it an hour a week? Is it 2 hours a week?
I mean, what I did in previous years was I kind of like treated it like a class where I knew like, hey, every Tuesday, Thursday from 2 to 4 and 2 to 4, I'm doing typo scripting.
Yeah, that's a big light bulb.
Have making a routine and where it's like, once you can make an unconditional commitment to, hey, no matter what happens, we're going to be doing it here, then, you know, that's where it really takes off. I don't know if I put specific time on it, but, you know.
Yeah, what he's saying is
2 hours a week.
It was like a class. So he knew that during this time on Thursday, this time on Friday or Tuesday, he was always working on the training seminar. I think that's a good bet.
Think about it like taking an extra 3 credits. 3 credits usually 3 hours of class per week plus 3 hours of homework. Even if you just do the 3 hours of class per week, you're setting yourself up well. And I would say branch is more important than class.
Yeah. Okay, we'll go over to Mila, and then Eric had a thought.
Yeah, I have a quick question. So would this be, I guess, on top of if you're actively involved in an office?
Say it again. I'm sorry.
Would this include if, like, this is on top of being actively involved in an office, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. I was just making sure.
Because the seminar, ready? And let me ease your fears on the seminar. The seminar is 2 days long. Is about 7 hours per day. So it's 14 hours of training you have to learn between now and the summer. You're not going to master 14 hours of training. What I need you to get good at are the most important 6 talks, and the rest you can play videos and you can kind of learn as you go. You guys see that? So let me give you an idea. Ready? Watch. So for example, the intro talk, I'll give you the 6 talks. You can write this down. These are the big 6 talks. Actually, it's in the check. It's not. Here are the 6 talks. Ready? Your intro talk. That's the start of the training. Like how you set the tone, what the job is, you welcome them back, walking through expectations. Yeah, popping fear bubbles. Number 2 is the names list. Number 2 is names list. Number 3 is value talk. That's so people leave that talk going, okay, Cutco, I can sell this. It's a great price. It's worth it. It's like an appliance. 4th talk would be phone jam phone jam and schedule, aka we call it red zone. Phone jam and schedule. So how does someone, when and where do people do their appointments, and how do you get them to set up appointments? 4, remember now? So we got opening comments, names list talk, value talk, PR, and I'm sorry, schedule and phone jam.
Oh, sorry. PR's off.
PRs is number 5. That's also collection. So PR talk and collection. And then the day 2 expectations talk. Those are the 6 I want you to get really good at between now and the spring. The rest, ready? Here's the cool thing. Everything else, if you had to, is already recorded, and you can just play me doing it. And you can just say, well, this is our division manager, and you'll get a chance to meet him if you get qualified for that. You guys, how many of you remember in your training you saw a video of me doing something? Like that's it. Okay. Wait, I changed. Okay. Got it so far? Okay. So this, and you can, if you want to put this either in your calendar or your notes somewhere, the syllabus is going to break down. Okay, to be on pace, you want to be knowing this part of training this week. Like I'll break it down throughout the semester of what weeks you want to know which, so you know if you're behind or ahead. Okay. Now, here's what I'll say. Like any assignment, what's the biggest piece of advice you can give to anyone on an assignment that's due weeks or months ahead?
Start now.
Start now. Yeah, pace it out. Pace it out. Also, all of you will run a full training seminar before you run your office. Now, it won't be a gigantic seminar. In fact, for example, there's going to be spring break week. Whenever you guys have spring break, we're going to have like 3 or 4 people running training at the same time here. I'm going to have a training for 1 or 2 people in my private office, a Cutco training in the receptionist office, a Cutco training in this interview room, and a Cutco training here. We'll have 4. We'll have like 6 or 7 people being trained by 4 different people at the same time for practice to get through it. Okay? And worst case scenario, if you want to go above and beyond, like some of you overachievers, everything is on YouTube. So as of right now, you just go to the most recent training. It's in June 2018. It's all on YouTube. It's on the Jeffrey Gamble YouTube. Okay, so you don't have to worry about that right now, because right now, what are you most focused on between now and I guess till January 11th?
Push selling.
Like push selling. Okay, and then office observation. Any questions on the seminar? Okay, it was funny. You guys, how about old reference? I was looking at the old document, and it said you will observe through DVDs. We used to have DVD. I used to spend $500 to $1,000 to make DVDs of the training seminar and give them to you guys. What the hell?
It's like 1 a.m. You're like, what do you put on? I'm still just training.
Okay. Next thing. So far, so good? Here we go.
2 DVDs.
Okay. So let me give you a couple of tips on how to script. And if you guys who've run training before want to add on to this, let me give you just a couple things. Number 1, I always recommend took a picture of this, Amy?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, could you please post it?
Mhm.
Thank you. So the syllabus is going to be broken down into different talks for the training. So let's just say intro talk. Okay, that's the first one. What's after intro talk?
Names
Names
list.
list.
Wait. Names.
On training.
The video called the audio video.
What's right after you do opening comments? What's the next part of training? Yeah, demo walkthrough, or you do the manual, and then the demo walkthrough. You'll learn this, okay? So if I'm scripting train, let's say like Luke said, I have like 2 or 3 hours a week designated to this. So when I sit down and it's time for me to learn intro talk, what I'm going to do is number one, I'm going to break down my notes into objectives. Okay. And scripting. Okay. So here's how you script training. I put on my headphones, get in a place where I'm paying attention. You hit play on the YouTube, and you type out word for word and try to keep up. And so what you do is you'll type, pause, type, type, unpause, type, type, type. It's a little methodical, but ready? Every I would say every 15 to 20 minutes. Every 15 to 20 minutes, stop, and then write down what were the key objectives of that first part, like of what was happening there. So let's say, for example, I'll hit play. Hey, welcome to training, everyone. My name is Jeff Gamble. I'm the division manager here, and I just want to script, pause, script, pause, script, pause, script, pause, script. 20 minutes, stop. What did I do? Let me summarize of what just happened and write down, okay, in the first 15 to 20 minutes, these were the objectives. This is what got done. Introduce self, set the schedule for training, got people excited about fast start. Start again, 15, 20 seconds. It's called, you guys have taken Psych 101. It's called like grouping and clumping, I think it's called, where you, chunking, I think, where you take in small groups. It's easier to remember. If I give you a bunch of numbers, it's easier to remember 56, 72, 89 versus 5, 6, 7, 2, 8, 9. You guys have heard that before, right? Okay.
I've learned that in class too.
Okay. So ready? 15 to 20 minutes. You watch it, and the 15 to 20 minutes isn't going to get you very far in the video because you're going to have to pause and unpause. But it's really good to go back and say, in not so many words, I'm watching. I'm writing down what I watch. Stop. What did I just watch? I'll say it again. I'm watching. I'm typing what I'm watching. Stop. What did I just watch? I think it's really important to do it that way because sometimes I'll have a manager that says, I script all of training. What'd I say? Like, what was the point of that? Like you've scripted like a mofo. I can pay anyone $9 an hour to be a scripter. Versus I scripted it. Stop. What did we say? That's how you should learn the interview, by the way. Just to reintroduce myself, my name is Jeff Gamble. I'm the assistant manager here in our Metro Miami office. And what all of you just went through is a pre-screen. And you're the 15 people I decided to spend more time with today. What we're going to do is now spend about 40 minutes to cover the rest of the company. And then Marley, at the very end, I'll meet with each of you one-on-one to give you a final decision. You guys know that group interview? Stop. What did I just say? Okay. Introduce myself and clarify what's going on. Keep going. You guys see that? That light bulb kind of sort of? So type what you're seeing. No, watch. Type what you're watching. What I just watched. Cool? Okay. Any questions? Okay, so don't worry about the training. That's to come soon. Next one. Go to the next folder, please. And it says from now till summer. So this is now finalized. So this is actually the 2.0 version. I'll put on the screen here. There's the management skills checklist, perfectly formatted and beautifully color coordinated, if I might add. Of course. Okay. So it's broken down into the 3 parts of our business. All of our business can be put into 3 categories: recruiting, sales, and development. And then there's miscellaneous. So under recruiting, I want to go through this and take a look. Anything in green, that's if you don't get that before the summer, you just might not even have an office that runs. Yellow is more advanced, and then blue is even more advanced. Pretty straightforward. So tell me, and you guys that run an office or been an assistant, you guys can maybe echo some thoughts here. For green, for recruiting, Campus activity. So that includes how do you survey, business card, OCP, and clipboard and get people to apply. Okay, so that's going to find recruits in your territory. Number 2, creating social media following for messaging. So anything that has to do with creating Facebook Jumpstart, Instagram messaging, Snapchat direct messaging, creating followers for all 3 social media platforms. Technically, if you just get those 2, I think you'll be okay for the summer. Like if you can rock those first 2, your recruiting in general is going to be pretty good, because even if you're okay at the rest, at least you have good people coming in or a good pool of candidates. Any questions? Next one, number 3, set PRs. Can you set up PRs from the following? All the social media, from your top 10 lists, and from 3-way texting. Can you run a group interview? Can you run a 5-star one-on-one interview virtually? Can you do the day 2 PR talk and get 200 names per person? Can you run the talk that Andrew or Luke or the manager does, and everyone is willing to submit all their contacts, and you average about 200, and then later on in the advanced training, you'll do Snapchat. And then last thing is setting up triple threat on Monday advanced training. How do you get people to post a picture of that, which is the paychecks, on Monday for all 3 social media platforms: Instagram, Snapchat, and Facebook. So far, so good? You guys agree? Like that's like baseline. You do that, you got a good shot of having a really high profitable summer. Yellow, alley-oop in AT1. How do you, at the end of AT1, get the reps to call their friends and hand the phone over to you, and you average about 2 to 3 PRs for every person in front of you? PR call staffing. We've been talking about that. How do you train, hire, staff, and retain someone who's going to help you make calls? And then Vector Live, how do you input and do all the technical stuff on the computer? Because you won't have a Dave. Dave does it all for you, but you won't have Dave. But for the right price, you could. For the right price, you could. Last one, this is a big one though. For those of you that are running a district, developing social media recruiters, AMIs, to do it for you and with you. So how do you take your current reps and scale your best people who haven't even gotten into TLA 3 months later yet to already help with team building? Let me give you another way. How do you get people who just started to give you all their friends, and you use their social media network to get more people on the team? That's a little bit more advanced. Cool. I find that the best managers in our company, I'll use the district example for these guys over here, for pilot manager too. If you crush this first page, you're going to have a kick-ass office. Even if your productivity is okay, you can work on that. Even if your development's okay, you can work on that. If you do this, you always have a lot of really good people on your team. And ready? If I know someone can always get a lot of good people on their team, they can get better at their training. They can get better at connecting and getting people cut through college. They can get better at getting people to events. If you're not good at this, you just have no people to work with. Sir, yes, sir.
This is probably the thing that I was best at recruiting-wise.
Yeah, you were.
At the beginning of the summer, I was terrible at training. But because I was able to get people through the door, it gave me more opportunities to get better at training. Like if you're bad at recruiting, you won't ever have the opportunity to run a training session. So you can be great at training, but if you can't recruit, you won't have the opportunity to train anyone. You won't be able to have the opportunity to develop anyone. If you don't have anyone to teach and coach, you're not going to have an office. You can get better with people in your office. You can't run an office without any people. This is the most important part of the business.
You can be really good at motivating, but if you're staring at 6 empty chairs, you ain't motivating. You're not motivating anybody. In fact, you will be demotivated. I will tell you that. Okay, that was a good joke. Me like you. Okay. Over here, next one, sales. Okay, and if you notice, look at the columns. If you have yours open, it says grade, observed, manager sign off, and notes. What that is you're going to meet with your manager. Where it says grade, you're going to give yourself a grade on where you think you are with that. Like A, B, C, or F. Like that's what I like to do. C is like I've done it, but it's like really okay. B is solid. A is good. F is I've never done it or just terrible. Observed is you just check off. I've observed it. Let's say Giovanni's my manager. Okay, this is when I sat with Giovanni. I observed it. Manager sign off is they say, okay, I sign off that you know how to do this. And the notes are, okay, notes might be, okay, hey, Rob, we are setting you to run this week during this time. Or the notes might be, hey, Mila's done this 3 times, looks pretty good, but let's work on this. Okay, this is a template you will use between you and your manager to go back and forth and get better, okay? Let's go through sales. 2-day training seminar. I talked about the big 6 talks. There they are. Opening comments, names, list, values, schedule, phone jam, PR talk, and day 3. It should be day 2. Expectations. 2, PDI. And ready? For everyone in A Squad, pay attention to these 4 parts of PDI that Andrew's going to teach tomorrow. First week in PDI, then there's benchmark PDI, then there's days 6 through 10 PDI, and then there's working deals from the demo PDI. That's 4 different scenarios. Like the PDI for someone who's on their first Tuesday on the job is way different than the first weekend. The PDI for someone who has already been to advanced training, if someone says the customers aren't buying right now and they're in their first weekend, I'm going to have a different response than someone who came to an advanced training. If they say that after my advanced training, I have a different response. Okay. Phone jams, how to create attendance, day 1 training phone jam, day 2 training phone jam, Sunday, Wednesday, the big ones, Champions Club, and how do you set up the whiteboard. Advanced training 2, and then morning AM PDI when you do PDI in the morning. And ready, let me give you a little secret. That's super easy. You just copy all of our templates and send them out. Like what I'll say is, this is I like Andrew's message, send this, and then you'll get it. Oh, cool. And you send Andrew's message out. This is the pilot message. I like this. And you just copy and just change the name. Make sure you change the name.
Yo, make sure you have like
Yo, Spartan team. What's a Spartan? What is a Spartan? Right? That's Miami. That's the Miami team. Yeah. Yellow, ready? Seminar, can you learn the rest of the talks? And here's what's really cool, and you can vouch for this. You will end up really, like there will be a light bulb where you go, okay, I know how to run the training seminar. Ready? The last one. On the 8th one, you're like, I got it. Damn it. There's no more. Round 2, that's round 2, okay? Next one, creating a WhatsApp communication culture. 3, PCs, like one-on-one meetings. There's a PSP, which is the Sunday version. Day 4, which is when they, one of the things we talked about is the DM team. And Eric, you haven't heard this, and Luke, you either. But our goal is every new DM, every training, they pick 1 or 2 people and have a cut through college PC on Tuesday. Just to start creating development, okay? And that's 3 to 5 every Tuesday.
That's right after AT1.
On Tuesday. Yeah, so you would book it. You would see based on AT1 who you want to set a PC with, and it can be virtual and Zoom. And a little extra sizzle. Let's say I have AT1 and they book you for a Tuesday PC. If you're pumped about the fast start, I'll also 3-way text your top 10 people right there on the spot on the PC. It's like, okay, we're 10 people we could text right now and just set it up. So these are some best practices over the fall and spring that we're putting in. Champions Club, promotion and attendance. And then these are the more advanced, ready? How to get people field training, how to get that culture going, where people go to each other's appointments. Setting up the 10K Alliance, that's pretty advanced for the most part. When you're new, you're really just getting people excited about the Alliance through hype, right? And you're utilizing your district manager in my videos, but there is actually a really strong art and science behind getting people signed up for the Alliance. And then day 4 PC with your top 2 or 3 people from the launch. Like I put it yellow here because you should do it, but to master it is on the more advanced. Okay.
So when you give them your number,
What's that?
is that kind of like when you give them your number?
When you let them text me, no, that's different.
What's the difference?
That's WhatsApp communication in general. Yeah, that's a Michael Bromwich special there. And then sales, I should say development. I'm sorry, I'll fix it up. What I'm building stump speech. Like you should be able to give a short 30-second, 5-minute, or team meeting version of why it's exciting to be part of the Aventura team or the Miami Spartan team. Like Danny, you're in Miami, right? Metro Miami. So if someone asks you, so what is Andrew all about on that Cutco team? What's he excited about? Why is it the place to be? Give me like a short version of that, like 1 sentence.
Okay, so definitely just like his work ethic and just being like surrounded by him. Like
Okay.
He just brings positive energy and a lot of like radiance.
Cool. And then what is he always talking about when it comes to the Spartan team and why it's a place to work in Metro Miami and why people should be part of Metro Miami Spartan team and why he runs the business and why you should stick around. That's right.
Basically what it's abbreviated for. Like we always go over like what Spartan, like what's the Spartan.
How? Just one meeting a week, a month, or sometimes?
Always.
Every freaking meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's almost to the point where you finish the sentences.
Yeah.
You know, what's S?
Succeeds at all costs.
What's P?
Pushes others.
A.
Accepts challenges gratefully.
R.
Reflects strategically.
T.
Takes challenges.
A.
Accepts challenges gratefully.
Yes, and
Never like settles.
and then S.
And then succeeds at all costs.
I mean, that's how you know.
You're like, I couldn't.
But that, I mean, but ready? That's a culture because it's every single week. That's a stump speech.
Super fun.
And the same thing with Florida United. I all the hashtags, you know what that means. And this year we're going to scale all that stuff. So well done. Got good through college stump speech. Can you give someone a reason why they should do this? Start thinking about doing this through college. Branch is actually easier to do this than it is as a district. You know why? It's easier to give a cut through college stump speech when you're a branch.
More related.
Yeah, because you're doing it.
Nah.
You're like, let me tell you why I'm here still. Yeah. Okay. That's right. Team builder stump speech. That's why it's exciting to get people on the team. And then SLDM, getting people to come either to the office live, a hub, or watch it from your office. You know, and we'll talk about that. This is what Rob's asking about. DVM networking system. This is how. This is a little bit more advanced. How do you get people the first weekend to text me? Hey Jeff, this is Danny Lopez. I just started Metro Miami. Actually, was recommended by Julia Ortiz. And I want to let you know I just hit my first promotion. I'm looking forward to getting on your radar and meeting you this Tuesday at the SLDM. Like if you do it right, I should get, I don't know, multiple messages from your team like that in the summer. Like Mike Abramowitz's team, like clockwork. Actually, later on when you started popping, I started getting, that's in fact how I first started talking to Miss Marley over here. Then I got to really know her. I was like, ugh.
Same though.
Opposite. Advancement, you guys know what that means? How to promote each level and why every level's available and what's great about each level. The true cut through college, not the stump speech, but how to walk through and map out someone's future with us. That's a little bit more advanced. And then creating attendance to events is actually a lot more to it than it seems. Okay. And the miscellaneous, it's pretty straight. It's kind of funny if you run an office. How to enter orders, base pay, how to enter receptionist pay.
Is that teaching kids how to enter orders or having them actually enter the orders?
Both. Yeah, yeah. That's right. Day 2 admin, daily planning, and I would love to think that this is, if you're in Florida United, a green, but some people haven't done it now. So what leads me to believe they'll have it by the summer. But are you getting your WhatsApp to me every morning? Your RPM, which is your what's my massive action, what's my big 3 for the day, and then my AM routine, my morning routine. Here's what I do know. If you don't have a set morning routine where you're up at a certain time, journaling, setting your intention, planning, that's not done by vector cut cohorts. It's not going to happen this summer. That's what I found. Okay. Any questions? Okay. So ready? If you haven't already had this PC, it's really important to have a PC where you walk through with your manager 3 things. And I want you guys can get this down. I want you to get a meeting with your manager to map out 3 things. Number 1, how much of this list can you knock out next week? Next week is such an awesome week because it's no school, so after finals, but it's before Bahamas push. So can you knock out a couple of these next week? So ask Mike Abramowitz, ask Andrew Evans, ask Carlos, ask here Dave. Actually, it's the Dave-Luke combo right now for this time of the year. Ask your manager, hey, how can I get involved and what can I knock off observing from this list? And observing doesn't mean you just watch it. Okay, cool, done. Observing is I watched it and I got a chance to talk to my manager about what I was watching, what I learned, and ask questions and so forth. Okay, any questions? The second thing you want to map out is when you're going to study these things throughout the semester. Like what's important. Each manager is going to do it case by case. Like for example, if Mila is going to be my branch in my district office, what I would have her prioritize to work on in January and February is going to be different than, let's say, if Rob's going to be my assistant. Like I want Rob to be all about PR, social media networking, running phone jams. I want Mila all about training seminar. So let your manager tell you what's important and what to work on. So prioritize January, February. Okay. And then the third thing you'll do, and this isn't due now, but I'm going to require you to buy the Vector Cutco Award. So I'm giving you a month to put together your full spring semester plan of, okay, week to week, this is what I'm going to be working on. I talked about this with my manager. So my whole semester is planned. So like Luke talked about, when I have those designated Cutco training times, I know what I'm working on. I'm not guessing. It's called an edge plan. We call it an edge plan. Remember that? Cool. And the last few things here. I have some assignments and ready. I'm giving this to you a month early. I normally don't give this until January 12th, but we're trying to get this summer to pop. So I'm going to give you things ahead of time. So let me review. If you want to pull it up on your notes, you can, like on the files. But here's some assignments. Okay. So by the Vector Cutco Awards, okay, and you'll have to email this to me on Thursday. And this is also for district candidates. And look, we're actually going to talk about this live. But I would like your spring growth plan, your EDGE plan. What are you going to do week to week, and what are you going to study from the checklist each week? Use the checklist, see the example. I'll send an example on the email, and then it's going to be due by Thursday, the 24th of next month. Facebook Jumpstart. Okay, this is one of my favorites. So once you know your territory, okay, we said by January the 18th latest. My goal is to try and get it a little bit sooner. But as soon as you know your territory, you can start Facebook friending and start getting into circles right away, okay? But here's what's important, and Luke can speak to this. We've had summers where we didn't get this. We had summers where the assistants did get this, and you can tell the difference right away. This is one of the number one things you can control is pace of friending, okay? So for example, you can actually start doing this now. This you can do now. It says join the Facebook Jumpstart group. You just go to facebookjumpstart.org and you join the group. And there's actually a folder. Put it to the screen here. It's pretty slick, actually. Yeah. It says Facebook Jumpstart Group Spring 2018. It's just kind of an overview. So feel free to. So just make sure you join. This is all before Vector Cutco Awards, but you can do it. I would just do it this week. Just join this Facebook group. Okay. So there's that. Part of that is take your time now before you know your territory to clean up your profile. Right? Like how do you get it's giving you a scientific, right? It's hilarious. It's giving you a scientific view of how to set up your profile so it's more attractive for recruiting. Okay. So no more duck face selfies, unfortunately. Or maybe you should totally have duck face selfies. Okay. So ready? Between now and Vector Cutco Awards, join your Jumpstart group. Clean up your profile, and once you know your territories, pretty straightforward. By these dates is where you should be at. And I'm going to have you send screenshots of your Facebook to show that you're on pace with this. If you end up being a Dom, you still have to do this. If you end up being an assistant, you still have to do this. So this is Florida United across the board. Luke, can you speak to the importance of this, or no?
It's just, don't get behind.
Yeah.
Go through you.
Find
Find a TV show that you like that you don't really have to pay too much attention to, and you just throw them side by side.
I would do it during like PTI and Dan Levitar's show.
Highly questionable.
Highly questionable, yeah.
Highly questionable is the worst show of all time.
That was our first training.
All right, ready? Watch this. I'm just giving you a little heads up ahead of time. I know it seems so far off, but once you get your territories, there are 3 videos I definitely want you to watch before the February prep. I'll cover this in January. But ideally by January 12th, when we have prep, you guys have your territories. But this is the next assignment. This is the Kathy Vasquez first 10-day video. It's just a high-level how to manage reps through the first 10 days. This is a next level session we had last fall, which was awesome, on how to prioritize the big 3 for each day. And this is a PDI video that we did last year that was also very awesome that we're going to replicate. Okay. And then here, I'm already giving you your first deadline. Your first deadline of office leads, where you have to submit a certain amount of leads to the person who's in charge of your officers, which would be a district manager or me. And that'll be due by February the 8th. And I'll explain how to do that later. But I just want to give you a heads up so you can start planning accordingly. Okay. If you're really advanced, you'll take this and put this in your 2019 planner because you have it already. If you're the opposite of advanced, you don't even have one purchased yet, which is okay. There's time. Got it. Any questions? No questions? Preguntas? No preguntas? Okay. Last thing, and we'll close shop. Vector Cutco Awards. Okay. Here's what I do now. I know some of you still have charges from Olean. That's totally fine. A couple random thoughts. I said this on Wednesday. Sell your Olean Homemaker this week if you can. Like, get it out of the way. If you're in the Dam Push Alliance, most of the division is. If you sell a Homemaker, if the charges are bothering you even a tiny bit, just submit that as your Olean homemaker. If you don't care and you know you're going to cover the costs, like you're going to cover the Olean charges because of your selling, that's cool. But if you have any like feelings of, oh, I have this, then sell the Olean homemaker. It's easy. It's as easy as that. But number two, we're gonna do a group sign up tomorrow at the general session TLA prep. I'm gonna ask that all of you sign up. If you have a negative over $500, okay, then to me that would justify you feeling like you would question whether you want to sign up now or wait. Then we'll have a one-on-one conversation. There's some of you who have a $600,000 or $700,000 negative, but you're fine because I know you're gonna sell, and you'll be just fine during the push.
700,000.
Oh, 700,000 negative. Wow, $700 negative. Sorry.
I'm gonna be for a long time.
Yeah, you'll get out of it by like 50. Okay, but here's what I'll say. Listen up. Here's my last thing. This is more important for this group than it is for tomorrow's group. Get your parents to year end. Get your parents to Vector Cutco Awards. I'm just telling you. And there's nothing like parental support. I'm going to talk about, in January, I'm going to talk more about funding and sponsorship. It is so funny to me, after year-end, Vector Cutco Awards, whatever they call it, how many people say, oh, Jeff, my parents just said they'll sponsor me for the summer. Sponsor me means I'll pay for all your room and board and your food. You just spend your startup on your business. And these are all from parents who hated the job or gave my parents. These are the same parents that always like pull that last minute BS on you and say you can't make that because it's a family thing the week of, when in real life you can't do that. Like in real life you can't do that. Like Amitav Iyer, the doctor I'm talking about from Jackson, he can't say, oh, my mom's in town, so I have to cancel the surgery. That's not how it works in real life. So Mike, and this is for some of you have that situation this week. My only encouragement to you is just to remember that you should approach it like real life now, not like a kid now, because the longer you do that, you're going to continue to extend that reign of I can't live a normal life and I can't grow up until I'm out of my parents' reign. And this is no disrespect to parents. I'm very respectful to parents when if you know me at the highest level. But there's also a difference on how to respect boundaries of your professional life too. It's really important how to say, Mom, I'd love to, but I'm already committed. Really, what that speaks to is that your parents don't think this is a real job. That's the problem. That's the problem. Yeah. So if your parents don't think it's a real job, then it's like, well, just tell your manager, it's for family. You can't say that to Jackson Memorial Hospital. But my mom is in town. I mean, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. You're contracted. You're contracted. Yeah, it's common.
I was always reluctant to have my parents go. I was like, oh, I'm not getting an award or whatever. And then my dad went, and now he asks me all the time. It's like, what's the next award night? I want to go to that. So, parents say, it's always better.
Yeah, your parents shouldn't be there if you're getting an award, because that means 60% of the people, 70% of the people shouldn't come and bring a parent.
Wait.
No, it's not a part. Yeah, it's more than that. It's not a participation award event. It is a performance award event. So your parents get a chance to see how big the company is. They get a chance to meet me live and live in the flesh, if you will.
And see Jeff with his bonus check. What are your mom's age?
Yeah, the parents love the bonus check. They're like, that's extra. Like Karina's mom, she's like,
You can go DM.
Yeah, Karina's mom was like cursing, like, that's Karina, you need to do this job. It's your shit. Any questions? Okay, do me a favor, take 30 seconds. If it's okay with you, we'll end 30 minutes early. Is that cool?
It's cool.
30 seconds. Biggest takeaways, biggest action steps coming out of this, please. Biggest takeaway, biggest action step. And then we'll go around the horn. We'll wrap up quickly. And let's do this. If everyone could quickly just post your biggest 1 or 2 light bulbs or action steps real quick for sake of time. And we'll just do a round of what you appreciate to end. It'll be faster. So just post either your most prominent action steps or light bulbs from today. And then in a second, I'll do a quick live round of what you appreciate. We'll start with the virtual land in just a second. Everyone quickly post.
poopery in the bathroom now.
What's that?
We got poopery in the bathroom now. This is awesome.
I love poopery. Okay, as you text and update your action step or light bulbs, we'll do a quick round of what you appreciate. Very, very quickly, we'll start in San Juan, Puerto Rico. We'll go to Alex Arias, Michael Sullivan, then to Clearwater, quickly. So, Patricia, very quickly, one thing you appreciate, we'll go around the horn. You're up.
I appreciate this prep. I think it was really helpful.
Beautiful. Let's keep going.
I appreciate my circle of influence.
Ah,
My team and family.
I appreciate Secret Santa tomorrow.
ooh, or Shelf on the Elf. You guys like Shelf on the Elf? I'm just kidding. Hey, David Vargas, what do you appreciate?
I appreciate people.
Nice. Arias. Alex Arias, and then Sullivan.
I appreciate my Spartans that I'll see on the 26th.
Nice. How about Michael Sullivan? There we go, Mr. Belton. Can we say Mr. Belton? I like that. Let's go to Mason and then around the horn. Mason, Zach, Josh, Amanda, and Mr. Belton. What do you appreciate?
And circle of influence.
Nice. Okay, Zach Schachter.
Appreciate Mike.
Yeah. Always appreciate the person who just walked in the room. It's good for you. Josh.
Appreciate Zach and Amanda.
Nice. Amanda, what do you appreciate?
I appreciate Mike.
Nice. Hey, Mike, what do you appreciate?
I appreciate Amanda.
Nice. Nice.
Appreciate it.
Daniel Belton, what do you appreciate?
I appreciate that and Amanda just because like they've actually been helping me with like real experience.
Awesome. I like it. Anyone else virtually?
I want to go.
Oh, I didn't see it. Good, Steven.
I appreciate Michael Brownwood's for answering every single question I have.
Every time. That's nice. Marley.
I appreciate
I know. Welcome home. Welcome home. Oh, good. I appreciate you. Oh, I appreciate you, brother, too.
Appreciate being home for the first time.
Yeah, you're covering the microphone. We can't hear anything.
Well, you're covering the maybe you're covering the microphone. Arredondo.
I appreciate your
I appreciate
Reunited and it feels. It's an old song.
I appreciate my family.
Nice.
I appreciate winter break.
You appreciate what?
Winter break.
Winter break. Yes, sir.
I appreciate the holidays and my family.
Yeah, I appreciate no school and my friends. and family.
I appreciate my grandma being in town and everyone that stepped up for damn push.
Appreciate my family and friends.
Tacos.
Yeah.
I appreciate all of you. Hey,
Big taco guy.
quick logistics, okay? So tomorrow we have the push planning session. So right back here we have a 10:30 start. So I would like our TLA A squad to help. I like that. I like the TLA squad to help facilitate tempo tomorrow. Okay, so whatever respective hub. I know Clearwater, you're going to Tampa. San Juan stays, and here I'd like A squad here between 9:45 and 10. If you could do that. Be arrived, ready to roll. Help Dave set tempo, and then we'll start at 10:30. We're gonna crush it. If the meeting is as much for you as it is for the reps too. We're gonna plan out the push, and then from 2:30 to 3:30, we'll have pizza, and we're gonna set up 50 PRs as a division. So please take a look. Mila, can you swipe right on the picture I sent earlier, circling on the WhatsApp, not Tinder, right? Where it says the 3 things to make sure you have set up. Listen up. So there are 3 things I want you to make sure you bring tomorrow for that session, and you can work on in the morning if you want. Is people that never got contacted from your PR list, people that got contacted but never finished off or followed through, and number 3, if you were to call a few people tomorrow, who would be most likely to pick up from the PR list that you could hand off to a manager? Okay. And then we'll have our general session prep. Let me clarify the gift exchange. So we have the prep tomorrow. You'll learn PDI from Andrew, and Luke's going to talk about first 10-day management. It's called the White Elephant Gift Exchange.
Yeah.
I know there's some confusion. It's always been called the White Elephant Gift Exchange. It's not a gift exchange,
White elephant.
and it's not White Elephant. It's a White Elephant Gift Exchange. Here's what it is. Tomorrow, everyone's going to bring a gift. It can't be less than $10. It can't be over 20. And plan on making sure you have it before you get here because we're not doing lunch
It
on
can be
your
less
own.
than $10 if it's funny.
If it's good.
Yeah.
So between 10 and 20 bucks, wrapped, okay? When you have a gift, we'll have numbers for everyone. So let's say there are 25 people here. Everyone will pick a number between 1 and 25. Okay? The worst number to get's 1.
Yeah.
Really?
Okay, because you're the first person that goes.
You want to be like.
You want to be as
You don't want to be last. You want to be.
So you pick the number.
So you only get someone
Hold on. Then you go in order. So let's see your number 1. So Rob will go up to the pile of gifts and pick a gift. He'll open it up. Okay, so he's stuck with that unless it's right. That's your 1.
Oh, okay.
Number 2 will pick. If they like their gift, they keep it. If they don't like it, they can steal Rob's.
Oh, is this like the office?
So I don't get a choice.
That's what he did.
Your one stinks.
Number 1 gets to steal in the very end.
It doesn't reset every round.
It sucks because like number 1, no.
Number 1 steals at the end.
Once a gift is stolen twice.
Oh, but anyway,
Yeah, number 1 gets to steal in the very end.
not an ours, not an ours.
Yeah, not an art.
Not an ours.
You know what you're talking about? So
Yeah.
that's how it happens.
Not even a district yet.
Back in
Jeez. I'm just kidding. So, ready? And then there'll be rules where you can only steal a gift 3 times. Otherwise,
Twice.
twice.
Three
You
is
changed it.
excessive. That's why. We've always done
I
that.
do 3
Three is
per round.
excessive.
Oh, okay, twice. So we'll have. You can steal it. The good gift will get stolen twice. Any questions?
It's gonna be fun.
It's a football.
All right. So tomorrow, please dress professional, ready to impress our reps. And last thing, Trent Hampel, you're not even in the district yet. Come on, man. Ready? Ready? Bring your best to networking with the reps too. You're the impression to these reps. They haven't been to an SC1 or SC2. This is their SC1 or SC2. Okay. So everyone drive safe. Thanks for a great prep. Sayonara. Peace. See you later. We're out. We out.
Thank you.